Howdy Tamers, and welcome to the LostinTranslationmon Digimon podcast. This time we're covering Digimon BeatBreak episode 24, Overlapping Beats. I'm Kobias, and I'm joined by Guz and Geo.
Hello.
Or should I say I'm joined by Guz and Judge Geo, who just passed the level 1 judge exam for Digimon. Yay.
Thank you. Now officially my word is law, and that's good.
Yeah.
Now I can smack down the law whenever people say things. No, but it's good. I'm glad. It took a while, and I felt discouraged last time. And then after a few months, I'm like, you know what? I want to give it a shot again. I feel like I know my stuff. A lot of people have actually been coming up to me and asking me for stuff. And then when there are very fringe niche cases, I have an idea of how I think it works. I'll post it in the judge questionnaire, and then the judges will confirm it. So it's like, I think that gave me the reassurance to say I do feel like I can do it. So yeah. And now here I am, the judge. And
we're all very proud of you. And also the universe decided to congratulate you by giving you a sickness, the illness.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, you know what, we take it and give it. They give it me some joy and take it me away my ability to breathe.
Yeah, so we're hopefully making it a short one, but short one to us, we'll do our best. But in any case, so this week, as a quick synopsis, one by one, the Glowing Dawn members' e-pulse are taken by Prognomon. Tomoro loses his temper and therefore his control over his e-pulse. Lizamon goes berserk but isn't strong enough to defeat Prognomon. Raito saves Tomoro and snaps him out of it, reminding him of sharing the beat with his partner Digimon. Gekkomon is then able to evolve to Monarch Lizamon, defeats Prognomon, and Clay is arrested. Tomoro questions Clay about Gekkomon, that was pronounced weirdly, Gekkomon, who is fairly vague about it, and is like, oh, you'll find out in time, wahahaha, ominous bad guy energy. Tactics are disbanded. Granite will live with Hotaruko and help out, which is really cute, meaning they're kind of going to be their own family, I guess, kind of like Glowing Dawn. And meanwhile, Chairman Wong is learning that Glowing Dawn foiled Clay and he's doing his ominous bad guy smirk. So with that out of the way, discussions and decisions. What are our highlights this week?
I'll go with Guz first. I've usually been taking the past few weeks the reign, so I'm going to pass the baton.
Oh God, where to start? I think this is an episode. So I was thinking about it before we kicked off. I think this is an episode that really should be given a 3-hour video just to dissect every single shot and frame within it. This is a very dense episode. It was so dense, in fact, that they took off half the intro to give us more episodes, which was so cool.
Sick, when I saw that, I was like, oh, stuff is happening because we're not getting an intro. They're doing the shonen anime thing of no intro this week. We simply do not have time. And then they played it during the fight because the shonen anime moment, and I was like, oh man, this episode's going to be a good one. You know it's a good one when they just don't do the opening, they just give you the credits in the opening sequence. Good.
Well, I feel like this was the second time they've done that, and I'm thinking of the Astamon episode, how it ends with him shooting, and then the next episode...
Oh, that rings a bell.
I feel like it's happened before where this is a second time of... we end on a cliffhanger where the crew are in danger.
Was it Chirrutmon? The Chirrutmon Evolution episode?
No, I was thinking the one where you have
the Panda,
Astamon standing at the top shooting
one.
Pandamon. Unless I'm mistaken, and I'll probably go back and recheck.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think you are right.
I think it's the first time the intro's been cut in half, outside of the debut episode.
Yeah.
As far as rolling the credits while the ending is still being animated.
I was talking about the opening when they did that, because the credits were still on the screen in the opening, because they still needed to have the credits for the episode at the start.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, you know that you're gonna watch some good anime when they don't have the intro.
Yeah, they're like, we got not enough time for this.
Yeah,
we'll play.
We'll play it for you later when things hype up. But for now, you don't get the intro. You don't get Mad Pulse for a little bit. And I was like, this is some good anime. The whole time.
this is a very high quality episode. I think that even if you were to watch this episode with absolutely no context to the show, this would still be like one of those, wait, what the fuck? Like, it is crazy. It opens with, obviously, Kyo being shish kebabbed. And then the rest of the team gets shish kebabbed, minus Tomoro. And then it just evolves. And it becomes this very, like, crazy thing. Like, Clay, you know, I do agree with a lot of the commenters in the previous episode as well, because I did go back and have a look at those. They were like, Clay's my favorite villain now, like 100%.
Yep,
you know,
I agree.
Like, the fact that he was like, hey, listen, I'm not even going to use my own E-Pulse. I just stole your leader's E-Pulse. I'm going to drain that shit first and kill him proper while you fight me. Good luck.
Yeah, he's
like, that's hectic.
Yeah, he's absolutely up there with Kurata for me, like, as, like, a good Digimon bad guy. Like, a bad guy who I'm just like, oh, I hate this guy, but I'm meant to, and it's just, he feels very, like, be fairly well written, just because we get, like, he has this backstory, and I guess he was also a young soldier in his own way. Like, you can see him, like, cold-hearting people, collecting money for it. He's kind of like this bounty hunter. Even though he's not a child soldier, he's still fairly young in these flashbacks. Like, getting those little shots there. And in general, the episode, like, felt very, like, short. Like, I was like, oh, what, it finished already?
Yeah, it was an easy 20 minutes to consume.
Yeah.
But, like, even though it felt short, there was also that moment of, like, holy shit, there is so much in here. Like, genuinely, it is probably one of the most dense episodes, barring maybe the opener.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it gave us so much. I mean, one of my lowlights, which I will have to just sort of transition into, you know, Tomoro's girlfriend, Raito, coming in, saving the day. I think that was a little bit annoying.
I actually liked that because it reflected that moment that we already had with Raito and Monodramon, when Tomoro came in and was like, listen to your Digimon, can't you hear him? He's suffering. You need to control your E-Pulse. He is hurting. And we got that exact moment in this episode where Raito comes in, slaps Tomoro. He's just kind of like, bro, can you not hear that? Can you not hear Gekkomon right now? So I actually liked that because it was like a mirror of that.
Narrative. It's a great narrative bookend and mirror. Like, I'm not denying that. I don't like the Digi-X machina of it all.
Yeah.
I felt like it's too soon of that, like, sort of, like, because the way you have to think about it, and I do concur with Guz, the narrative mirror reflection makes sense, because it's like, yeah, he saved me at the time, now I saved him. That's a very reasonable conclusion to get.
It should be end of the series, like, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like, well, hold on a second, Raito, in a span of, 24 hours, now all of a sudden is able to connect with Monodramon and has this change of heart, like, so profound. Yeah, but it just feels, like, very sudden.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking about character arc of the ebb and flow, of going up and down, crashing hard, regaining confidence, crashing again, he's just come from, I'm crashing, to, I am now, like, the savior. It was like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
But it makes sense, again. If someone were to snap Tomoro, it does. You can see it with Raito.
Yeah, I did like the slap. The slap was good.
Yeah, I can see it, and that's why, like, it's not. It's weird. It feels like it's a mid-light. Like, it's got its pros and cons of, like, it works, but too soon to pull that trigger with that character. It does more like Raito a disservice than it does, like, the narrative story.
I mean, I think it's because this is kind of like the end of this, like, the Team Tactics arc. Like, they'll probably show up again, but they're not going to be like, we're not going to have episodes and episodes of them just kind of being there. We've already learnt about their backstory. They've kind of all been fixed in their arc. Like, Hotaruko is kind of more open about things, is willing to ask people for help. Granite doesn't want to die anymore, and Raito is kind of, like, more in touch with his emotions. He realizes that Monodramon, he called Monodramon his buddy. He said my buddy saved me. Like, just as I was going to be cold-hearted, he broke me out of the sarcophagus. Like Like, he's clearly more open. He's, less kind of like, I'm a genius, I know everything, I'm going to use use Monodramon like a tool. So I kind of think that this is like the end of their little plot arc. What are you dying about?
Oh, I'm just thinking, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna use Tomoro like a tool. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
just
meant...
called him like boyfriend, girlfriend, bro. It was crazy.
My screen, like, I just looked at my screen and it's just got where I wrote down my quick synopsis part, and my eyes went on where I wrote Tomoro. So like I read that, like I read Tomoro with my eyeballs, and then I said it with my mouth hole. Like yeah. But I meant Monodramon. So that was kind of nice that his, that all of the team tactics are kind of like, that their story arcs that we had are kind of done. Like, I don't think we're going to be really returning to them too much. Like, it'll be more like the Mushroom Gang, how they just kind of maybe pop up every so often. Like, I think we're done with their storylines. I think we're going to now focus on the members of Glowing Dawns and their own storylines themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a nice bow to tie on. You can at least send those characters off and just feel reassured that they're on their journey, but it's not going to be as plot relevant, which is nice. And then that's one 5-star member down. One of the Polycule members got kicked out, and I guess another one's going to start throwing her hat in the ring.
Yeah, I think Rose is going to be the next one, which is exciting. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what her deal is. She's got she's got her own lackeys. She's got like a man and a woman. She's kind of like, who are, I guess, her butlers or her servants or something.
Her own Polycule going.
Yeah, she's got her own Polycule going on. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I also am looking forward to seeing what partner Digimon her lackeys have, if they have Digimon themselves. Yeah. Which I can imagine they would. Like, will one have a Palmon? Yeah. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of evolutions or Digimon that we'll see.
Random question.
Yeah.
What would happen if they just all of a sudden one of the lackeys has Terramon?
That'd be so cute. I really want to see Terramon, like, be in the show.
Yeah, just because, I mean, look, to be fair, we got Proganamon and Pyramidi. Yeah. And, like, who's to say none of the other Liberator trait Digimon are going to be involved?
Yeah.
So that'll be funny.
Yeah, like, I really would love to see one with Terramon. I mean, it could be with Rose, because Rose has a Lilamon, and that's Wind Guardians, so maybe she's got the Wind Guardians kind of like lined up. So that would be cool. So maybe one would have like a Palmon or a Floramon. Floramon would also be cool.
Wait, but what about Bloomlord? Is this the resurgence of Bloomlord, like low-key?
Well, I was just talking about that with Guz earlier, because when we were talking about the Monarch Lizardmon, I was like, oh man, it's just Vortexdramon at home. And then I thought about the fact that we have Vortexdramon and Monarch Lizardmon who have the wording of this Digimon battles a Digimon, rather than, it's attacking a Digimon, they are battling. So I'm wondering if green cards in the TCG will start to have that as more like a mechanic or a keyword of the Digimon battle. So I feel like that could be something, since we know that a new Bloomlord is coming. We got that the key art of some Digimon from the upcoming sets. We have Chronomon, and we have Ravemon, and in that same screenshot we also have Bloomlord. So I'm wondering if the new Bloomlord will have something like, suspend some Digimon, or when one of your Digimon suspends by an effect, battle, like once per turn.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like Vortexdramon, but it's specifically Digimon, your Digimon by effects, or maybe a Digimon by an effect, I guess. So it's a little bit more specific than just when any Digimon suspend, but that's kind of to be expected from a level 6, to have something that's slightly weaker than the level 7. So
level 5.
Bloomlord's level 6.
Oh no, I thought we were just talking about the was it?
Monarch Lizardmon, yeah. But in this case, I'm like hypothesizing about how a new Bloomlord could be like a step below the Vortexdramon, which is whenever a Digimon is suspended by an effect, this Digimon may battle, or something along those lines.
It might be a your turn as opposed to an all turns, but I think that's getting a little off topic.
Yeah. Sorry, but
Yeah.
so Monarch Lizardmon is Vortexdramon home. But yeah, we were just talking about like how
Bloom,
like this could be a resurgence of Bloomlord. So I would like to see Bloomlord be maybe Rose's Digimon.
That'd be
Because
cool.
it would be boring if it was just Lilamon evolves into Rosemon, like we've seen that before in anime. We saw it in Savers as much as I loved Savers. But I would like
I
to
reckon
see
going to Bloomlord will be sick, actually.
Bloomlord or Bancho Lilymon.
Yeah, true.
Because
True.
both have like kind of evil vibes.
Yeah.
We could go Raphaelzamon or Lotusmon, but we have seen Bio Lotusmon as a bad guy before. So that would be
Yeah.
a little bit like too similar to what we've seen in Savers. But personally, I'm hoping for Bancho Lily because that would suit because it's kind of like a more like evil version. Bloomlord, despite being vaccine, is kind of like, you know, it looks like it could be like a bad dude. So that could be cool, but more realistically, it might be Bancho Lilymon, but it will probably be boring in Rosemon. But yeah, so we've got like, you know, at the end of the episode we have the gym leaders react to Clay being arrested. We have a flying fish, which of course is one of my lowlights always.
And then another highlight for Guz right there.
Yeah,
See, I'm telling
he
you,
got
you need a
waifu.
perfect exactly. You want a perfect episode. Do everything else right. Just have a still image or a moment where his waifu's just featured in, and we'll watch this be like a high rated episode.
Yeah,
Calling
and
it out.
include a flying fish, and you can
Okay.
know
No,
that it's gonna
sorry, I
go
have to
live.
quickly defend myself there, Gio. First off, it was a high-rated episode before I saw her.
And then it sealed the deal
Yeah,
for you.
it went from like a 5 to a 5.75.
No,
yeah,
because
we
you
actually
don't go
could
higher
have
than
budget.
Oh
You
no,
don't go higher than 5.
no, it's a 5, 6, 7.
God no, just no. No.
I've
Well,
been terrorizing locals by doing that, and
Chat.
nobody is amused.
Chat. So
No idea.
context. I know we're going so many off tangents, so much from.
We're gonna make it a short one, I said, like a liar.
There's something I actually wanted to say, but like we've got like
Yeah,
7 more tangents to get
Okay.
through.
Gio can finish this tangent, and then we can go to Gus
it's
being
fine.
on topic.
I'll go on my tangent afterwards. Gus has got something important. Hopefully.
I wanted to say, Monarch Lizardmon.
Yes.
I think he was very, very funny looking at the start
Zoids.
because here's the thing, right? It looks nothing like Armor Lizardmon,
No.
but it does look like Gekkomon's level 5. The reason why I say that is because we've got the moon motif on the forehead still. Armor Lizardmon sort of lost that. I did see that some other commenters had mentioned that they were upset that Armor Lizardmon lost some of that moon motif. It's back, but I do feel that Monarch Lizardmon is a Tuskmon evolution, not a... It feels more like big Tuskmon rather than big Armor Lizardmon. I feel that
Past.
something's gone weird there in the design. But having said that, it's Digimon. That happens when level 5s happen. We have cats that turn into sexy women.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Just like
So
in
like
real
there's a
life.
bunch of other... Okay. I don't know what cats you've got, but let me know. But basically, like, I do think it was really funny that Tomoro's just like, damn, you know what sucks? Punching things. Here's a gun. Also, it's a sword sometimes. Or an axe. And then the head also does the thing. And it's just really funny looking. Because the second I saw it, I'm like, this is a green, feathery chicken looking thing. This is a Kobe Digimon, hands down.
Yeah, he's baby. But just like counterpoint to that, or I guess in addition to that, is that I'm wondering if the forms evolve as the humans' e-pulse or their emotions or even them as a person evolves. So while Armor Lizardmon is kind of like, you know, he's wearing armor, he's very protected, he's not, you know, he's kind of, you know, protected from the world. And that's kind of how Tomoro was at the start of the series. He was very much just like, I'm doing this because of my own issues and Asuka. I don't want to be part of your family. And he was kind of like, you know, hiding himself. He was protecting himself from the world by having this, like, you know, this armor on, this, like, you know, this barrier, these walls. But now he's kind of broken down about that. He literally says, I want to protect my family. He calls them his family. He is there to help them. We have at the end where Kyo wakes up in hospital and Reina and Makoto are, you know, on top of him, like cuddling him and like crying, and Tomoro's just standing there, and then he just breaks down and he just bawls, like also like on top of Kyo. So I wonder if the evolution design has changed so drastically because Tomoro himself has changed as a person. He's not wearing this, you know, armor anymore. He doesn't have this like this wall built up between himself and everyone else. He is more like, you know, he's more open with his emotions. He's growing. So since this series uses the partner's emotions and the Digimon's emotions are kind of in sync, I'm wondering if the Digimon themselves being a mirror of the human partner, I'm wondering if that is also reflected in the evolution and the path that it takes, because I feel like that's the only way that, you know, we have such a seemingly drastic change. And also the color change, like the armor of Armalizamon is like that purple, but when that's all broken away, it's just green underneath. So
yeah, I think you mentioned once that Armalizamon felt like a Pomomon Digivolution rather than a Gekko Digivolution.
Yeah, which I still stand by. Which, I mean, not a bad thing. Love Pomomon. Should be a bird, not a bird. It should be not, but
it's a fruit.
It's
a dragon fruit.
It's a dragon fruit, but, you know, it's a little bird. Like, it's also a Digimon. Like, we have things that are just like...
But Kobe, here's the thing. Fish are also birds.
Yeah, and I hate that. Like, but so why can't a fruit also be a bird? Why is the fish known as aquatic type also known as avian? Like,
you know what? Actually, legit. Let's go with that. If a rock, a mineral, can become part dragon, I'm fairly certain a fruit can become freaking bird.
That's my aim in life. My aim as a
Yeah.
fruit is to become one day a bird. Like that is very relatable. But
my goal as a fruit one day is to become a dragon.
Yeah.
You know, the story of the koi fish, but it's actually the story of the guz fruit.
The guz fruit. But yeah.
Bro, if I can become a dragon, you won't catch me fucking anywhere, dude. I'm off doing dragon shit.
I'm gonna be a goatee.
Yeah, you are. There you go. It comes full circle. The koi fish, the koi goatee becomes the fruit.
Which by the way,
evolution line.
I always, whenever we go to like a Digimon event, like a regionals or a Nats, I get like either people I've met there who are like interstate or like, you know, my friends from locals to sign the lanyard, and Gio wrote that I'm the goatee.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Which is my favorite.
With the love heart, because I care about you.
Yeah. Yay.
Now, just piggybacking off of Monarch Lizamon, and then before, if we call it, shift towards my highlights, lowlights, and then soon keep the ball rolling. Monarch Lizamon was funny to me because, firstly, I like the moon motif on the head and how it used its ability similar to how Armalizamon would spin really quickly. I thought that was a really, really cool feature. But when I saw it, I'm just like, okay, so another main protagonist with another metal grey looking kind of guy for the ultimate.
Yeah.
It's like, you got Metal Grey, Rise Grey, now you got Monarch Lizamon. Everyone's a Lizamon with guns.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with, like, you know, it's the theme of Digimon, with, like, I guess Vmon being, like, one of the outliers.
Paledramon's got guns.
Yeah, but it's not like...
And it's somewhat of a lizard.
Yeah, but it's not, like, as much of, like, a lizard plus strap metal to it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like his guns on his side are just belts with.
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, they're Digimon kink belts. Like, that's normal.
Yeah, they're very silly.
Oh yeah. Like, but I mean, I feel like
I love the combination of this is a lizard and or T-Rex, and then we slapped a railgun to it. That's my favorite Digimon.
I'm just glad it wasn't green purple, like as a card. I will take green black. Like that is beautiful. Like I'm fine with
Metal Tyrannomon too.
Yeah. But like I do want to quickly say before letting you continue, Gio, because you know, interjections and stuff. The second that I saw oh no, I'm forgetting it. Monarch Lizamon. There it is. I had the song "Laser Shooting Dinosaur" pop into my head. by Angus McSix. If you haven't heard it, it's fine, but when you watch it, it's just a T-Rex with a bunch of laser beams and miniguns, and that's exactly the vibe of Monarch Lizardmon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's also a vibe with Monarch Lizardmon? I just had to double check. It's a cyborg. So technically, you can have access to a when Digivolving battle. You're like, my removal is us battling DP. Let's have fun.
Not me.
I'll have fun.
Yeah, you'll have fun. I'm not looking forward to it. But other than that, in terms of highlights, good. It was overall actually a really, really good show. Great way to end the saga that is Team Tactics. Again, hats off to the character depth that is Clay. Genuinely a fantastically designed villain, just thrown through, even to the very end. Even when he's being walked away and taken away and in custody, just oozes true villain aura, and it's nice. Like it didn't feel like a power friendship. It didn't feel like one of those slapstick. Oh, he's just a villain, and he'll be like, oh, Team Rocket kind of vibes or anything. No, he was like a big baddie, and it was sick. And we respected that. And just the heartfelt moments. I mean, I was tearing up at the end of the episode.
I came close.
No, I had the tissues ready. Maybe because I'm sick.
Yeah, you're sick.
I already had the tissues there, so I had the tissues to go. But it was a heartfelt episode. I felt it. It was great, and that's something I'm really enjoying with BeatBreak. It really plays on the emotions and isn't afraid to make the audience feel things. Either it could be feel disgust, feel a bit of roughness, or feel like, oh, this is a bit of a topic I'm not comfortable with, or things of that nature. And I do enjoy that. I think that's quite cool. It's quite cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I said to Guz before we started recording, I was like, I don't have much in the synopsis because not a lot really happened in terms of you can talk about. In terms of the start of the episode to the end of the episode. But a lot happened in terms of why things happened. A lot of it was just a fight, Tomoro gets in touch with his emotions and then gets an evolution. So the synopsis is fairly short in terms of, point A to point B.
Yeah.
Whereas the actual content of the episode and, everything that happened, we have the Raito stepping in, we have that mirroring how Tomoro was like, hey, can you not hear your Digimon suffering?
Yeah.
There was a lot that happened in between, the point A, and as in, Glowing Dawn are all being taken out one by one, to the point B, which is the evolution. Not a lot happens, but at the same time, a lot happens in this episode, which is, it just makes it really good. Sometimes there are, a lot will happen in the episode, but that's just because a lot of, interactions and scenes changed. But the content of the episode was fairly, it's like if you have a burger and the burger bun is really thick, it's a dense burger bun, and then you kind of have maybe a piece of ham, and then you have the bottom of the bun, which has a name. I can't remember. There's specific names for the bread, but anyway, the bread bun. So that's really thick, but then you've just got this tiny bit of meat, and then compared with a thinner bun with a lot of filling, and then the bottom of the bun, maybe they're the same size, but one has just dense bread, which maybe it's nice bread, but it's still just dense bread, and then you've got lots with fillings in it. So I guess that's a comparison between I know I had a point and I lost my point halfway through there.
You were there. All I can think of now is a burger. I just want a burger.
Yeah.
I don't want a burger. But no, it's a very valid point, and it's a very valid point, and that's why I think you, Guz and I are on the same trajectory, or same beat, right?
Bottom.
But bottom. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sorry, Guz. Did you say bottom? Did you say bottom or got him? Yeah, because I heard got him, and then Geo said bottom, and I was like, no, I didn't.
There's two ways Geo would use the word bottom.
You are more than welcome to be as much of a bottom as you please. I'm never going to take that away from you, bud.
Soz, not soz. Yeah. I'm more just a kid at heart. It's bottom.
But
yeah, no, that's a the burger analogy makes sense.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, you're right. On the surface, it was a very straightforward battle episode.
Yeah, which I guess
power up battle.
Yeah, which I guess is cool, like, for, like, because, you know, Digimon is basically a kids franchise, maybe like a preteens franchise, so it's, you know, simplistic kind of, like, you know, again, point A to point B that's fine, but then there's like the meat if you actually think about it, if you actually, you know, watch everything and try to analyze it. So that is really nice. Like, it's good if you just take it at face value of, you know, they show up, they start losing to the bad guy, there's a moment of, like, you know, emotions, and then they evolve and beat the bad guy. And a lot of Digimon is that, but it's sort of like the path they take, like how superficial it could be, like, oh, have you tried trying harder, or you'll always be my friend. Like, it can be like kind of like, you know, simplistic, or it could be something, you know, a little bit more in depth that mirrors previous interactions and previous episodes, which is what we got in this one. So yeah, I really like this episode. I don't think I have any lowlights. Like, I get what you both said about the Raito showing up, because a lot of it is just, you know, a lot of BeatBreak is just like a character shows up just as another character is about to die. That does happen a lot. Oh, like a highlight that I've just remembered. Reina just running in to just punch Clay. Like, my girl. Like, Masaru moment. Like, she was just like, alright, I'm gonna throw down.
Yeah, no, there was very little to not like about this episode. I think, like, even if I'm being real, like, the Raito thing, yeah, it's a little annoying because that's just the pattern of the show at the moment. But, like, even then, it's still not bad because, like you said, Kobe, we do get that little mirror moment. They're like, hey, bro, like, it's not that, like, you're wrong for feeling the way that you're feeling. It's like you're letting your emotions cloud you, and that's representative in the way that you communicate with your Digimon. Yes. Great. Whatever. Fantastic.
Which I think is a great life lesson about, like, a lot of things. Like, oh my god, CC Cleaner just popped up again. I knew it would happen because before the podcast, Guz was like, oh, it's popping up. Go away. Before the podcast, Guz was like, oh, CC Cleaner just popped up. And then I was like, this is going to happen to me mid-recording. I just know it. But yeah, sorry. What was I saying?
We were saying that even though Raito might be the quote-unquote lowlight, it's really not that big. Like, so much of this episode is still so good. And I think what was actually really funny, I think, with the Raito scene is that he just mentions to Tomura, he's just like, look, man, you just need to calm down. Then Gekkomon has a moment where he's like, listen, perspective shift.
Yeah.
We're not borrowing from each other, we're adding to each other. And then it's just like, oh yeah, mad? Yeah. Anyway, here's a gun in my arm. Woo!
Yeah, like this very Digimon moment of like, now I have guns.
Yeah.
Everyone has guns. Freaking Gekkomon has a gun.
Freaking Gekkomon just going, oh, my walking stick is also 2 submachine guns is crazy.
Yeah. I do have like an actual low light, but it's less. This is less about the anime and more a nitpick to Crunchyroll, and like just a mad at Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with Crunchyroll, what they do is when you go to select the continue or watch next episode or whatever, they'll have like a still image of like a scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
It had the still image that they used was that of Tomoro standing next to Monarch Lizardmon.
Oh, no way!
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you can't do this. This is like.
That's
don't get me wrong,
awful.
with the leaks and stuff for Digimon TCG.
Yeah.
I already knew the level 5 was being leaked, and then it was like, oh, what should there be a level 5? I mean, it makes sense narratively. It seems to be on that trajectory.
Yeah.
But you can like avoid it. Whereas if you go to Crunchyroll and you click to watch the episode, it's just right there in front of your face.
Like I know that when it's a Digimon new episode day, I know not to check Twitter until I've watched the episode because I follow the official Digimon accounts. And they will always like say, hey, new Digimon added to the Digimon reference book. Here is a big gun Lizardmon. And then this is what it looks like. And it'll be like, oh, cool, I guess that happens. And the thing is, they don't wait until it airs on Crunchyroll. It's just as soon as it airs in Japan. so I know not to check Twitter. But, you know, going onto Crunchyroll and seeing that, like, I was lucky. I watched it on White's account, like, at his place. So he had, like, we watched last week's on my account. So all he had to do was click this week's episode and then go next episode. So we didn't see the thumbnail. But that is very annoying. Like, I'm very...
that's lucky.
Maybe it's because I was watching so much Cross Wars last night because I was bored.
Oh, poor you. I joke.
Yeah,
I like Cross Wars.
It actually just looked like a big blue metal Greymon to me because of the color in that scene.
Yep.
So I was just like, oh, cool, there's a level 5. It looks like Kiraha's Greymon.
Yeah.
So I know it's not going to be that, but if it is, that's funny.
Yeah, and it turns out it's...
Cross Wars saved you,
Big
bro.
green chicken!
Oh
Big
my
green
gosh,
chicken.
Guz, I just realized that your VTuber model has the patch or the pin that your actual jacket has. Like my favorite one, the Magikarp.
Magikarp.
I hadn't noticed that before, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
There's a sexy Magikarp and a sexy Bulbasaur. Watch.
Oh, yeah.
That is, I love that. I love how it mirrors your actual like jacket. Like I've seen you wear that jacket pretty much. I want to say every day that I've known you.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be there at next Reggie's, where he will be wearing that jacket and then crying, and then once I kick his ass, just
We're going to be in the car, and we're just going to be like, we're going to be like having such a good time. Again.
Gooning.
No, not gooning. We'll probably just be like just
Gooning.
ragging on Frontier for 9 hours straight.
Oh my god, actually, before we move on, thank you for bringing that up.
Oh.
This felt like Frontier's done right. When I said that my whole favorite part of Frontiers is when all their friends die.
Yeah.
Right? And it goes on for like 18 episodes.
Yeah, but when the characters lose.
Yeah. This is how you do it.
Yep.
This is how you make your characters lose. This is where it keeps that emotional weight, the narrative weight, and the stakes are just absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
This is how you Frontier.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
And I think like it was done right, where you still get like a happy ending in the end, where everyone's back together, and that's good. We got the I haven't seen Frontier, so I'm like,
you're lucky. You've been saved.
I'll get there one day.
No,
But yet,
it's
like,
okay,
if
you don't have
anything, the catalyst of change occurred, and I think they've done it right. They've done it well, because now this is going to be the motivator. Tomorrow can achieve ultimate. It's going to push Reina and Mikado, and it seems when we get to predictions, we're going back to a Mikado-esque, probably a little side story, just from the voiceovers, which would be good. I mean, we need to get everybody back up to scratch. But no, I agree. It was done right. You felt like they play with our emotions so well. Like, you feel angry, you feel upset, you feel like you want to punch Clay.
Yeah,
you feel the anger that Tomoro feels.
Yeah, and protective over Kyo, because you know that this is like, he is kind of the parent of this family, because he's the eldest, but he's also, you know, he has the responsibility of the guardian of these kids. So you feel for him, because he's always been the one to save them. He looks after them. He makes sure that they're okay. So you feel that emotion. So I absolutely agree with you. Like, it's a very emotional episode.
It's gag-worthy, for sure.
Yeah.
Shall we move to ratings and then posties?
So first up, favorite character. Mine, this was really hard for me, because I guess I wanted to choose Tomoro, but also Reina did the punch, and also I really like Raito, like, stepping in and being like, hey bro, listen to your Digimon, bro. Like, I really like that. So it was really hard for me to pick like a favorite character about this, but I'm gonna have to say Tomoro, just because it was nice to see him come out of his shell. Like, I thought he was just going to stand there and do like the edgy anime, like, edgelord, like, stand in the corner, look down with his glasses, like, you know, reflecting the light, and like a single tear rolls down his cheek. I thought they were doing that, but no, he like, you know, he just went like this onto Kyo and just bawled his eyes out. Like, that was great. And, you know, going back to what I said about how the evolution of his Digimon reflect the evolution of him, he got rid of that armor. He took the armor off. He broke down the walls between himself and the outside world, and he was vulnerable. He showed his emotion to his family. So I'm gonna have to say Tomoro, just because like this was a big moment for him, and yeah. So well done, Tomoro. How about y'all? Who are y'all's favorite?
It is a hard one for sure. It's just one of those things, man. You know, I really liked Gekkomon sitting there and just being like, Tomoro, it's not about me or you, it's about us. I loved the slap. I loved the punch. I loved Clay just bullying children, just catching the fists, and then just like being like, bro, what is even this? And
he
then
has
just
beef with these kids.
Yeah.
Everyone's got beef with these kids, man. We need some vegetarians, and it turns out the vegetarians are about to have beef too. It's crazy.
They're gonna have like the artificial beef.
You're gonna have some tofu about it, I tell you.
Yeah.
But it's a tricky one because I think I would have liked for Programmon to have more lines and to have said more than just Nami once or twice. I think Programmon in that way has probably been done pretty dirty. That's not a joke about it being mostly sand either, I promise. I did like the fact that he was like, oh, Raito's flying, that's crazy. Sucks in legs and farts out sand just to propel itself.
The physics, like the little sand jetpack, I was like, that is so funny. Like it's so
like it's Gamera coded from like the Japanese media.
Yeah, and it's also so like, you know, Digimon weirdness. Like sure, like okay, I do dunk on the fish flying, and that does annoy me. But like this one was at least like kind of like showed you why it made sense. Like I could suspend my disbelief that sure, just fart out sand as a jetpack. Why not? Like,
even Raito was like, "Bruh, that's cheating," and then just gets absolutely fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Well, we have flying fish and flying combinations.
We've got
of
flying
fish.
rocks.
But I will take this and say, how about a farting flying rock turtle?
It's everything I've ever dreamed of.
Why not? Pyramidi was floating.
It was, hey.
Yeah, but that's like, you know, that's like magic, I guess. I don't know, but
no.
I draw the line at fish flying, okay?
No,
like I will believe that when fish fly, like, except for flying fish. But
because they're real.
Because they're real, but they don't like fly. They just jump. Like that's like.
No, I'm hella headcanon.
It's falling with style.
Yeah.
Hella headcanon. Pyramidi's not flying. He's just farting a lot.
That might be canon now. Now that we've seen Programmon do that, I think that might actually be canon.
He's like I don't know if anyone's seen One Piece, and then with Gear 4 Luffy and I was like
his legs.
His legs, right? And he's just hovering. He's not
so
flying.
Fast
He's just kicking the air so fast and hard. He's floating.
Anime physics.
And that's now my headcanon is Pyramidi is just farting so hard and fast that he's floating. Oh, I can't wait to tell like everyone who plays rocks. It's like, aha!
Yeah.
So you've got a farting pyramid.
Yeah, you're just gonna drop some new lore on them. But Guz, who's your favorite character?
I can't really pick.
It's hard.
It's not even the appearance of the water gym leader either, because she did not actually change my enjoyment of this episode at all. None of the 5-star reactions really did.
Yeah.
Just to get ahead of that before we get to the ratings for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's a real hard one. I think it has to go to Team Hands. Like, I'm gonna give it to Reina and Tomoro for just the sheer audacity to walk up to a 30-year-old prince who's also a refugee and a war criminal and just try to deck him.
Yeah.
I think Team Hands deserves the MVP badge for this, because even like the pain in the voice actor for Wolvermon and Christymon when Reina gets stuck on, like, I genuinely, when I said at the start of this, we need a 3-hour episode to break this down, I meant this in like I've mentioned before, like a Pay Talks anime kind of episode. Like, I want to talk about each shot, I want to talk about the colors. I
Yep.
want to talk about the composition.
And
I want to talk about the sound design.
Just on that, like, the voice acting was incredible. Like, I was thinking about that the
Yeah.
entire time. The screaming, like, the
was
anguish
real.
in the scream was just like, I was thinking, damn, like, voice actors do, like, when they scream and it sounds like that, it's just like, your vocal cords must be, like, shot. Like, that sounded like a painful scream that you only do when you are just, you know, it's just pure anguish. Like, you don't hear people scream like that unless something traumatic has happened.
And the crazier part is that was like the 20th take too. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said, like, the voice must be, like, so shot after that, because, you know, and I don't think that voice actors would do it the first time. They probably have multiple takes and they use whatever the best one is. Like, so it's just so incredible, like
the
that level of
despair
voice.
that like Clay even created that he was talking about at the end, like between all the characters getting just bodied one after the other. Like I'm gonna give it to Team Hands, being Reina and Tomoro, but like I think the easiest way for me to say it is my least favorite character was Raito because everybody else was so good, and I'm not even including the 5 stars in that because they're just a footnote. Like their presence was a non-plus. It shouldn't have. It was only there to give us context within the world setting, and obviously the government guys are also background dressing. But like of the actual characters that were the focus of this episode, it's basically all of them, barring Raito, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, like I think Raito still, like the way he behaved in this episode would have been a very natural conclusion to find, or a natural character personality to be that reflective mirror for Tomoro. It just felt a bit too soon, but I do agree with guys. Every character was fantastic, but I have to go for a back-to-back with Clay. I think this whole 2-parter wouldn't be as impactful as like freaking to take on Kobe's burger analogy, so dense and, you know, meaty and beautiful and juicy. If we had a piss poor villain, like everything would just go out the window. We just kind of like this, you know, it just becomes like like you kind of like you feel a little bit
because you want stakes.
reward. Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
actually like
I love that.
we're talking about steaks, we're talking about burgers. This is a very like foodful episode, like. But
you want that flame grilled. Like, exactly, you want that smokiness. You know, you want it to be in and out, tasting everything. And to be honest, Clay was just again very well designed. Even if we're talking about the voice actor, like the voice actor for Clay sold me on arrogance, sold me on like being cocky, being
the animation, like the animation making him completely unhinged. Like, just it's like so good. He was just everything about him. It makes him a good villain. We've got like a backstory that you can kind of think, oh, he's gone through stuff, so that made him the person that he is. So it's not just like, oh, this is Mr. Evilton. His backstory is he's evil. He's a bad dude. But you actually get a reason for why Clay is a bad guy. And
I love the fact that they did more flashbacks in this episode, because then all it did was you plant the seed, you have the initial inception of this is what this villain is and what motivates it, and the backstory. You then have more flashbacks to just reaffirm the notion that might is right. Power is what dictates everything, and we saw that again in the exactly. And it was just you can't fault then when you look at the villain how they're behaving now. You're like, no. This makes sense. We've been reaffirmed this again, and his own, like when we talk about like lived experiences, Clay's own lived experiences just reaffirm that notion. You need to have power, and it's just again, I feel like these 2 episodes wouldn't have been as impactful if we had a very half-assed villain.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you make good villains, right? It's not about. Yeah. And I don't like the idea of sympathetic villains. I think that they've been overplayed in a lot of media, you know, recently, where it's like, oh, he's just a bad guy because blah, blah, blah. Like, shut up. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But I mean, they did do that with Clay, but you don't think that, like, you don't feel bad for him. You're like, he's had a bad time, but he's still you know, not a nice dude.
There's no way that you turn around and justify his actions.
Yeah, there's no like redemption. He's just a bad guy. He's had some bad things that happen, but he's still just a bad guy.
He chose the wrong dialogue options.
Yeah.
That's it. But like, you make a good villain by making them like Clay, obviously, like Crocodile, like those other really good characters, by sitting there and you make them a logical endpoint to a particular issue, and they think that they are right. And it's not like, oh, I like stabbing because stabbing's fun. Ooh, hey, I'm evil. Like that's not a villain, right? It's I have watched people with power take everything away, and when all is said and done, nothing else matters but the power that you have to exert over others. And that is Clay at his core. And that is his entire operandus mandi. And it is very hard to argue against that point, which is what makes him such a very powerful, very relentless villain in that regard. It's just like, cool, you're just a hard bastard that just thinks that smacking everybody around is how you win. And to be fair, he's not entirely wrong, because the entire system is set up to function in that way.
He's just someone who was broken by the system.
And then became another cog in the machine. It just a different part.
He became that which broke him.
What?
Machinedramon mentioned AO. But in any case, rating out of 5. I'm going to give this another 5. I'm sorry, I'm boring. It was just good. Gio, what you giving it?
I'm breaking the budget, 4.75.
4.75. And
again, I broke the budget too late. Sucks to suck, Guz.
And Guz.
It's coming out of your page, yeah.
Nah.
You guys get paid. What are you giving it?
Get all that AdSense, boys.
Yeah, why do you think I got out of bed with the sniffles to be here?
True. You had to break that budget.
Petrol costs too much, you know? I gotta pay
petrol is like absurd.
It is fun.
Maybe you gave it a 4.75 because that's what the cost of like petrol per litre is going to be in a week at this point. I mean, diesel's already like 4.
Dude, it was so baffling yesterday after Regi. So I was heading back with Tundra. Shout out to Tundra, the GOAT. You know, the winner of the Regi's, freaking legend. And we're talking about Tusk.
Yeah, baby.
He's the OG Tusk. But we were just filling up petrol, and I'm just looking at the petrol prices, and I just see diesel's 3.2. I'm like, in what universe is someone?
It's like 3.5 now.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it's like I'm so glad I just get the unleaded 91. Like, I mean, it's still expensive, but I'm just like
$2.70 for unleaded 91 now.
I think when I topped up 2 weeks ago, it was like $2.20, and I was like, that's a little bit pricey. And I'm glad I just filled up then because anyway. So Guz, what are you giving this episode?
I'm giving it a 4.7.
4.7, not 4.75.
Come on, break the budget. Break the budget.
Breaking the beat of the budget.
No, I have never done one of these podcasts before, and I'm sticking to the rules that I impose on myself so that I remain consistent throughout all the episodes.
Yeah, I know. I'm the little devil on your shoulder. I'd be like, do it.
Bro, the only way you can tempt me is if you were to roll up here and give me a HSP, and then I'd be tempted.
Alright, I'm away.
Same.
Let's go. I'm away.
Same. Like, honestly, I do many things for an HSP, if I'm being real.
That and a sausage roll.
Oh yeah, that too. Or like a 7-Eleven, like, you know, the Kransky ones that. Like,
you know what the petrol station near where we play locals on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I went in there, and then they had like Pepsi Max Vanilla. I'm like, all right, no worries. And I go to the cashier, and he's like to me, "Yeah, I only really stock this because you're the only one who buys it."
Oh,
thanks,
they are really nice at that petrol. At that servo, they are so nice. Like when they see me walk in, sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I don't have sausage roll, but I can heat it up for you." I'm like,
but I might have to stop drinking it.
I told you.
Drinking it. Artificial vanilla. I found the sauce.
Found the sauce.
And speaking of Tundra is a chef by trade.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking about ingredients. We're talking about the artificial vanilla flavor, vanillin or vanillin or something along those lines. And he was telling me, "Do you know where it comes from?" I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "It's part of the gland from a beaver's ass, an excrement."
Huh.
I've got a vanilla Coke here. Give me a minute.
If it's vanillin. Now, I don't know if he's just rage baiting me because he knows I love the drink, But
I had my phone out to do Postmon Pat, but this is a much better use of my time.
yeah, for the vanillin. I don't know if it's like vanillin. Where does vanillin come from? And apparently it comes from like it's an enzyme or something.
It's from wood pulp.
Nah, extraction. Apparently it starts.
No, I'm looking it up. It's from wood pulp.
Nah, it's come from beaver excrements. I'm convinced.
No, Gio, I just think you've been a virgin for so long. You're now dreaming of beaver.
No, I'm just seeing it right here. Chemical compound using vanilla flowering and scents comes from anal glands of beavers. Boom. Vanilla flavoring.
Flowering or flavoring?
Vanilla flavoring and scents comes from anal glands of beavers.
Natural vanillin is extracted from the seed pods of Vanilla plantifolia, a vining orchard native to Mexico, but now grown in tropical areas around the globe. This is from Wikipedia. That is a natural production of vanillin.
That's a natural, but I think it's like artificial vanilla flavoring comes from this the anal glands of beavers.
It says chemically synthesized from. It's as a byproduct of the sulfite process for making wood pulp.
Okay.
Vanilla flavoring.
Wood-based vanillin. I'm not seeing beaver's asshole written in this.
What do you mean?
I'm on Wikipedia for vanillin.
Oh, maybe it's just vanilla flavoring. I don't know, artificial vanilla.
Well, I'm looking up vanillin.
I'm not looking up anything. I'm just listening to you two guys go, it's butthole, it's wood, it's butthole, it's wood.
Pastorian,
like,
there you go.
Okay, anyway,
let's
go on to Postmon Pat, because we'll leave that as like a question mark.
It's not used as much, but it used to be. It used to be.
Okay, it used to be, but it's not currently. So enjoy your vanilla Pepsi without thinking of a beaver's asshole. Thank you very much. Anyway, so pondering Postmon.
Vanilla Coke, not thinking of buttholes.
Yeah, pondering Postmon Pat and predictions, and no more beaver bottoms. No more. It's pondering Postmon Pat and predictions, not posteriors. There we are. I made it work. So anyway, first up we have Dandenong, who says their emotions were all over this place with the last week's episode. Clay's crash out was legitimately unnerving, and the Uno reverse they pulled on us to have Kyo and everyone else getting cold-hearted right after the insert song victory was wildly unexpected. Also, they don't remember which one of us called it some episodes ago, but Tomoro's parents being framed. I think we all kind of, like, guessed that or, like, talking about it. But after the flashback showing his father was involved with Chairman Wong and the Island's appearance, he might be onto something. If Clay is this strong, I wonder how much trouble the other 5-star members are going to give Glowing Dawn. The Rise doing a good job of making them hate Clay. Is having a scary rich boy tantrum. And yeah, I mean, I think we kind of talked about that, but yeah, Clay, they did a really good job with Clay.
Yep.
Next we have Hayate, who says that it's been long since they watched the podcast and BeatBreak because they took a break for their exams. A beat break, if you will, and their college classes. Well, congratulations. I hope you did well in your exams, and best of luck with college. And anyway, they go on to say, BeatBreak is peak with the amount of character writing and world building that's been put on. They never missed it never misses. They love the characters of Glowing Dawn and Team 7. Also, Naito got what he deserved. Clay's just a beautiful villain up there with Kurata. Absolutely agree. I also love Kurata. One thing they had to nitpick is Gekkomon being very hollow, as the other Digimon in this season are oozing with personality and individuality. I wonder if that's because Naito was just kind of like a level 1 goon to Clay, I guess, and Gekkomon is kind of like just a kind of a rock dude in the same way that Prognomon is a rock dude. So I wonder if that's why.
Very like standard and just very because like I think Prognomon will give Gigas a run for its money for just bland.
They said they can't wait to see what will go after this arc. Also, Asdamon and Tealudmon that they just absolutely love. They hope things go well with the kids. Maybe in the future we see them doing odd jobs by making up for what they did, like their kids. So they still got a very long way to go. And yeah, I hope we do see them every so often, but I hope that it's not like in every episode. Like, I don't think we need them to be there because we need to flesh out the main characters, the cast of Glowing Dawn. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we still need to flesh them out. They need to have their own growth. We've had Tomoro's, obviously, in this week's episode, but we still need to finish off Makoto and Reina's.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah, like...
I think if we're like taking off, and this is a piggyback over what you both
Yep.
mentioned last week in last episode regarding the parallel between Kyo, Tomoro, or the pairing,
Yep.
really. Tomoro, Kyo, and then you've got Reina, Mikado as that like the pairing of growth and whatnot. It definitely feels like it's cool. We've had such a big focus on Kyo, and I think one of our consistent mentions is all the eggs, all the hints, all the sort of disposition or exposition, that goes towards Kyo leading up to last episode, and then Tomoro, I guess, is finally like still in that nail of the coffin and taking that next step and worked out really well. But if we continue to focus on Kyo and Tomoro, we run into the issue of Reina and Makoto being left in the dust.
Yeah.
Like in reality, Reina's been hella left in the dust for a bit too long now.
Yep.
And it would be troublesome or worrisome if that continues to be the trend, because frankly, like we're seeing what we're seeing now with Reina is what we're seeing with Kyo, where you're seeing these little moments of like her getting her little tiny moments of her like stepping up as a leader, you know, jumping in with Tomoro, her starting the fight sequence to run in charge. So I think we're on that trajectory. Will probably won't happen for another few more episodes from now, but realistically,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get that with Reina and Mikado.
I'm really looking forward to what they do with Reina. I hope it sticks the landing. Next we have Vilfer, who says, next episode doesn't feel like a dark Digivolution episode. It was not. Tomoro going berserk so soon after teaching Raito the importance of not going full Skull Greymon would fall backward. And, I mean, that did happen, but Raito kind of, like, came up and said, hey, you literally are doing what I did, kind of thing. Like, I'm glad that they did that. That said, they could see Raito coming out of his cool sarcophagi to... I love how they're referencing the joke I made. I love that. To remind Tomoro of that, and that is exactly what happened.
Wow, prediction.
Yeah.
Nice.
DNA Digivolution soon, maybe. They could call it Synchro Evolution, keeping with the beat motif. Like, maybe not DNA Digivolution, but maybe, like, more like Biomerge or Matrix Digivolution from Tamers.
Yeah.
It could go either way. But they could also do, like, a Megazord, like, fusion, where they all, like, merge into one, like, giant level 7.
Big Digicross, let's go.
Yeah, like a giant Digicross. Since we have Guz watching Cross Wars at the moment.
Bro, can I just say real quick? I made it to like episode 3, and they Digicross with Darulomon against his like will.
Oh yeah, they do that.
What happened? He gets slapped into like a weird ass genetic gangbang, and he's like, "What the hell was that?" And I'm like, "Bro, you just got violated. What the hell is this show?"
Poor guy. I love Darulomon, the Monster Rancher looking guy.
Yeah, Jason Darulomon.
Yeah, Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
One of my favorite vines of all time. January, February, March. Jason Derulo. Anyway, next we have RDD48, just Peak Break. Man, it's so refreshing to see the Karate Evil level for the love of the game. Yep, absolutely agree. And yeah, more war crimes. An external government throwing down a local state. Never heard of something like that. Woof. Jesus. Let's see if we get the Gecko 5. Thanks, BeatBreak starter decks. You let clear that a card inside. Though, could we get the dark one? Maybe Ruin even before the normal mode. Yeah, no, I don't want Ruin mode. I'm having like flashbacks of Shine Greymon Ruin mode from the TCG, and I don't want anything with the name Ruin mode.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
That's gonna be so prevalent now.
We do have a One Piece reference. We have Girbal, who says Pyramidi Swords reminds them of Pika from One Piece, similar silhouette, and like, oh my gosh, like
respect. Yeah, true.
I feel like out of all the arcs of One Piece, we've probably made reference to Dressrosa more than anything else. Or Shambondi, because of Rayleigh and Marky.
We had Shambondi, we had Alabasta because of Crocodile to Clay references, Dressrosa. I mean, like, I think you could even see like Dressrosa being Doflamingo to Clay.
Yeah.
A very interesting villain there.
Who kind of like had like, you know, a traumatic like past. Yeah.
I mean, I've said Alabasta quite a lot myself.
Because of the sand.
Yeah, but like, you need that one good villain. They've even got the same color motif of being like the tans and the browns and stuff.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
gold.
now I'm just all I'm thinking about is Nico Robin from the live action.
I
Stop it.
still haven't
Stop it.
seen season 2 yet. I need to.
Just
I heard
Oh,
Mihawk
just
was in it
yes.
for like a second, so I'm.
Mihawk is no spoilers. Sorry, I'll stop.
I mean, I can't. I know I love Mihawk, so of course I had to check. But I know the context of how he shows up from my understanding in just one scene. But anyway, next we have Apple Live, who says, first time commenter here, long time listener. Well, hello, welcome to the show. 2 things. As a fellow Victorian, I just wanted to say, when Collingwood lose, we all win. I don't get that reference. I don't.
Collingwood just suck. Who cares about Collingwood?
My poppy was like a supporter of Collingwood, so.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Not anymore.
Sorry, yeah.
Not anymore. Not because he moved on to a different team. He died. So he doesn't support Collingwood anymore. So I guess they lost a real one.
Same note. My dad doesn't support any footy teams. Totally feel that. It's yeah.
Yeah, I woof. Yeah. Anyway, woof. So secondly, they think that this is their favourite series of Digimon. They enjoy the characters a lot this series, and the animation has been good for a Digimon series, and hopefully we get perfect level soon. We do. They think one of the main protagonists will get one in the next 2 or 3 episodes. What do you guys think? Yep, that he does. Tomoro do be doing.
But I like the way they're going about it, and this is again another piggyback off of guys from last week. This is very much an anime with Digimon and not a Digimon anime. And like when we get those ultimates or these perfects, it has to make like narrative sense rather than just being like, oh, you need a power up. Like it's and that's what we got here, because otherwise you would have seen maybe Radar like hinting. There wasn't any hints there.
Yeah.
Mikado hinting, man. Again, nothing there. But no, Tomoro made sense, and in Raido, the parallel made sense. But yeah, it's awesome. Let's get more ultimates, more perfects.
Oh yeah. Next we have Lazy Croconaut. It says the episode was so damn good, they can't wait for the next one. They was on the edge of the seat during it. Play thus so far is the most top tier villains of Digimon. Yes. Also, the Dr. Tenma, I feel like Tomoro's grandpa, but they could be wrong. They're just going based on appearance his parents had on the few flashbacks we saw them. And I feel like the age doesn't really line up, so I feel like it might be his grandfather. They also continue on to say, also congrats to Gammon for winning the Time Stranger poll, and Lugamon, Harrismon, Pulsemon, and Gekkomon for getting top 10. Very impressive for all of them considering the products that just came out. And Gekkomon coming from a fledgling show, because they think the poll started a couple episodes before Amelizamon was a thing. Though now they are imagining the Dabs being like, god dang it, why did the one with the most personal evolutions won? Yeah, like, I love when new Digimon get, like, given some love. I'm really hoping, again, we mentioned it before, but I hope that Terramon shows up in BeatBreak or at least in an anime at some point, or in a video game, like,
that'll
please.
Be sick.
Like, I love
give me my Nia Bootmon. Give me my Nia Bootmon.
That'd be cool. Even if it's just like a background. Like
I just watch Shrek.
Valid.
Oh.
That second Puss in Boots movie made me cry, just because like I think it was just like just after or just before Langley passed, and like the little dog in it reminded me of Langley. So I have a soft spot whenever give me like a scruffy little demon of like a terrier looking dog, and like I will just be an emotional mess. Like I just
no. Puss in Boots' Last Wish was his 3rd film.
Oh, okay. I saw the 3rd film then.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
there are 3. Julia and I went on a deep dive on like random ass film franchises. We binge watched like 14 Hellraisers. Don't do it. It's trash.
I've seen like a few of those, and oh my god, why are they all the same?
I don't know.
I think it is.
It depends if you take the short film.
No, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is the sequel to Puss in Boots 2011, and the 6th installment of the Shrek film series. So it is the 2nd of the Puss in Boots films.
There should be another one. I think there's 3
one called the 3 Diablos.
The 3 Diaboromon.
3 Diaboromon, let's go.
The 3 Diaboromon.
There's 3, but in any case, Gio, go watch those movies.
No. You know what? No, you know what?
No,
Yeah,
there is
actually send me?
there is a television series spin-off, The Adventures of Puss in Boots, which premiered in 2015. The Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was released in 2022. I'm not seeing like this like Revenge of Diaboromon one.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, where were we?
We're on the clock. We can't really spend time researching.
Yeah, good point.
Budget guys.
Back to Beaver's bums. So next we have Ignited Quills, who says they feel Kyo is an experienced main character done right. Over half his life was as a cleaner, and he received development before that where he wanted power, where Kugamon said his e-pulse used to be full of rage. And that would seem cliche, but he doesn't solve the problems for Glowing Dawn all the time, and doesn't win all the time. And the series does a good job of showing how strong and intimidating he is, which they really admire. But regardless, good episode. The preview for next episode has them hoping Tactics arc ends well. Edit. Me accidentally referring to Naito as her was my bad. I typed quickly. Naito can go by she, her pronouns. I'm so proud of that queen. Like,
bro, Naito's dead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like, I mean, at the end, there was like a throwaway line that Tactics said was like, oh, I guess Naito will like take the fall for it or something. But like, I'm just like, I think Naito took the fall into a coffin. Like, I feel like Naito's gone Baito. Like, goodbye, bro.
100% Naito is not returning back to RuPaul's All Stars. We can confirm that for sure.
I miss you already, Queen. Next we have Mine NA Adventurer, who says one prediction that they have. They think Gekkomon will potentially free Raito. You are correct. That is what happens. Money. Because Gekkomon was the only Tactics Digimon not captured, and it feels like such a Chekhov's gun. Raito will help Tomoro calm down as a means to pay Tomoro back for saving him. Legitimately, that's what happens, so well done. We have Noah Nami, who says, technically we did see Kyo's Digimon the same day as the episode. I guess that's to do with Kugamon, I think?
Oh, it was the card reveal.
The card leak.
Yeah, but it didn't show it. The Digimon itself didn't show up in the episode.
No, not in the anime, but
yeah.
The actual leak was on the day of, just like how we had today with Monarch.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it like quite a bit about like how it was kind of like a thing we thought would happen, but then it didn't happen. So we were like, what?
Yeah, no, I believe that was part of the commenter's joke, where it's like, oh no, we did get it, it's just not in the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I know now. I get it. Next we have Slumbering Weldarts, who said Kyo graduated from anime single mum to tragic anime mum. He was just missing the side ponytail of death. Woof. They feel like the next episode could go either of two ways. One is that one of the 5 stars show up, claps Prognomon and Tomoro's rampage with Armalizamon, releasing Glowing Dawn's E-Pulse. They could see it being either Kaito to save his ex-boyfriend, I love how we're just calling them all boyfriends, or Genjo, who steals Kyo's E-Pulse just like Asuka's, and they can both hang out and egg super hell together until inevitably Glowing Dawn rescues them both. Woof. The other prediction is that we saw Gekkomon riding out outside Raito's coffin. Gekkomon could find a way to break out Raito from the coffin, and that does happen. And then Raito has a chance to remind Tomoro to not make the mistake that he made with Asdamon. And then they all team up and KO Clay, which part of that does happen. Like, the Raito does show up to yeah, they're so accurate, but like the rest, it's still a 1v1.
I'm convinced y'all are time travelers. That's it. That's the only way.
They're ready for this show to BeatBreak their expectations once again, throw something out of left field. They say, by the way, they've been binging this podcast for about a week now and absolutely adore it. They don't have much Digimon experience outside of Cyber Sleuth BeatBreak and like 10 episodes of the original adventure. So listening to everyone's takes, predictions, and even Digimon tangents have been super fun. They're going to be consuming so much more Digimon content from now on. Thanks for the hard work, guys, and sorry for the long comment. Like, that made me so happy. Like, I love when people are actually enjoying, like, our weird, like, Digimon tangents that are, and, like, sometimes non-Digimon tangents, like the Beaver's Bums.
And the Goatee.
Like, and Goatee. Like,
And Goatee.
Like, also, I would like to point out that when I saw Gio on Thursday, the first thing that Gio said pretty much was like, oh, so I was like listening to our podcast. Like, Gio is the #1 LostinTranslationmon fan. Like, he listens to the podcast that he was on, and he's just like, I forget what we talked about, so I listened to it again. I'm like, that is so cute.
It's just like I don't know, I like supporting my friends, and you're both my friends. And
and also supporting yourself. But like, yeah, I mean, I feel like, not to toot our own horns or anything, but I feel like we do have like a good energy, and like we get to like have these stupid dumb tangents, and I hope they're not like too annoying. I hope most people do enjoy them.
True.
Too bad.
Watch me get flamed in the chat now with the whole beaver thing. I'm just waiting.
It's okay. I'll just do like 6, 7 again, and then like try to make up for it.
True.
Anyway, Kyubi no Yoko, which I believe is a singer. Get it? It's like BB no $. Like, I don't know. I thought that sounded so much funnier until I actually said it. I'm like, that's
yeah.
I don't know where you're going with that. My brain tried to make a leap, and it was like Hatsune no Miku. Like,
no, it's the one that's like BB no.
Yeah, baby no money.
Yeah,
baby no money.
Yeah, there we are. Anyway, so they say everything Clay lacks, he makes up by being reviled. Yeah, Clay lacks not like maybe everything is a human, but as a character, I feel like he's just as a bad guy perfect. Then we have Deshawn, who says that Clay is one of their favorite Digimon villains. I love how we just all like are just all vibing with like Clay as a bad guy. Like, I'm a big fan of that.
We're crew. We're the quality crew. We just know. More on that BeatBreak. We
have Isman, who says Naruto be Deado, love it. If you want a One Piece comparison, but is it just them, or does anyone get Nami vibes from Reina? Money's very important to both of them. And yeah, I absolutely see what I never thought about that, but I absolutely see what they mean.
I don't really see it because Reina's so ready to throw hands.
Yeah, she's a little bit more like violence, not the right word, but she's a lot more like, I guess, hands-on.
I'd say trigger happy.
Yeah.
Like, because Nami tends to have sort of like the oh yeah, and then goes, no wait, please don't hurt me. Because she's used to tricking people.
Yeah.
Right? She's not used to throwing hands. I think there's probably it's probably the combination between Nami's
sister,
Nami's money loving, there it is.
Yeah.
And like Usopp's range capabilities and flexibility, but with like Zoro's temper.
Yeah.
True.
They then continue, if Kyo doesn't get up next episode, they're thinking that they might get a time skip after episode 24 of at least 6 months. If 6 months is much time to count as a time skip, of course, we will know by this time next week. And yeah, it was he got better. Then we have Weesum, who says even the non-TCG players who are Digimon fans will get information from Digimon channels like Khan, and that is true. Like, we do, like, even at this channel themselves, like ourselves, we do talk about like new Digimon like that show up in the card game. Like, we talk about Terramon from Liberator, obviously. So I guess that is true. And then lastly, we have Noah, who says first, LOL.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The goatee.
I kind of it's goatee, but I kind of love when people just say first. Like, I'm like, oh, that makes me happy that someone wanted to comment first on it. It makes me I get happy easily. Anyway, so that's it for the Postmon Pat. Next week's episode is episode 25, Half Baked Hero. Do we have much to say in terms of predictions? Because so far, I feel like this feels like it's like a breather episode. Like, hopefully it'll still be good. Like, it just looks like filler. And that's not me saying it looks like it's going to be bad. That's just me saying it looks like a breather filler episode. Almost like a beach episode, but knowing, like, BeatBreak, it could just decide to just throw us into the next arc and give us plot. It could just have something surprising happen.
I think, if anything, one of the safer predictions would be it's a palate cleanser episode. We've just come off a really hard, heavy arc that got really dark really quickly. If anything, I'm thinking this is going to be a little bit reminiscent of the Bomber-Nanimon episode.
Yeah.
You know how, like, that was a bit of a palate cleanser. It wasn't as an amazing episode, but it had elements where we had, like, little sprinkles. And I think that's what we need to do. Like, we need to not so much start from fresh again, but more like, cool, now Glowing Dawn's on the radar. Now we're going to see the pieces start moving before we get to the next sort of arc conclusion. We're back into that, like, setup process. And that's only going to be natural. A palate cleanser episode looks funny. Starmon, giving me that Bobanani.
Oh, there is a
POV.
really funny part in the next time on where like Petermon is just like, you know, Starmon's running at Petermon and Petermon just lifts his leg back and Starmon just goes flying. I'm just like, that's funny. I'm looking forward to seeing that in the show. But yeah, absolutely, it feels very palate cleanser as the next episode. But
it's
again,
a beach episode, but on a boat.
Yeah, like it's a beach episode. It's your pool episode, your swim day. Like it's your filler episode. But you know, BeatBreak's been so good. I'm like, it might be, you know, a great filler episode, just a bit of fun, but it could also throw a curveball.
I mean, look, post-refugee bombings and dispossessed royalty, I think, you know what? We all deserve a fucking day at the beach.
Yeah.
True.
Like, I
still think they're gonna Easter egg a bit of it. Like, and this is where the perfect episode would be. Like, if we're looking precedents that BeatBreak have done, again, and that's why I've referenced the Bobanani episode. Like, you have... you might think at first, what the frick's this episode? It's just a bunch of memes and stuff, but what you don't realize is it's like a setup piece for the auction, which then comes into fruition later on. We'll probably have something similar in this vein. Like we're gonna go for a setup piece. The way the Rose was vibing, I'm getting it's one of those like semi-assassin-y, you know, like those like shadow, like you work in the shadow kind of vibes.
Or it could also have like, meanwhile, Rose, and she's like, you know, doing her own plotting. Like maybe it's completely unrelated to the events of the episode, but we get kind of like a, what are they doing while these characters are kind of just hanging out, chilling.
Yeah, like a world building.
I wonder if she got into like the whole like plant thing with the greenhouse stuff because of her Digimon, or because she's used to burying bodies and using them as fertilizer.
Oh my gosh, we're talking about Spy Family the Garden.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean?
I
like
love Spy Family.
Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, there's just this show has so many weird dark turns. I'm not going to be surprised if she's in charge of the Somali pirates.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have like something horrific coming from Rose, considering how she is another one of the more older of the 5-star members. We have the young ones being Sakai and Kaito, who are just kind of like youthful and impulsive and don't really have like a business or like any goal, since Rose is like closer to Clay's age. And I think we mentioned this like last week's episode or the week before, like we have like something much more sinister than just like the 20-year-olds just like, I'm part of an evil organization, I just want to fight, which we have from Sakai and Kaito. I mean, maybe they do have something more sinister.
We have fight and fuck in water and in fire. Yeah,
as you do. But like, do we have any other predictions? Or can I wrap up this one that was meant to be a short one, but it's actually a considerably long one?
And unfortunately, I think a lot of that comes down to me because I have unfortunately needed to have a few phone calls during this recording, which is why you may see the deafened icon appear on my screen.
And also the VTubers start being animated despite not talking.
Yes.
And also at one point moving to the side of the screen. I was like, goodbye, guys.
I had to handle an email, so I was I was stuck.
I saw you move, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, Gus
is vibing. But
Gus unfortunately is a busy little bean, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to make time for everybody here to talk about Digimon BeatBreak and just scream about it for hours.
Yeah, which we did almost hours. It's an hour and 30 minutes almost. But
standard stuff. This is average. The average.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up unless anyone else has any more quick thoughts.
I have no thoughts. I'm just a happy little guy. I loved the episode. I know we're getting that palate cleanser like you guys said. I know we're going to be getting a really nice little thing that will probably have some kind of payoff because nothing is left on the floor in this series.
Yeah.
Everything has had a payoff. Even if we do go to Monster of the Week again, it's going to lead into something. And we still haven't got the payoff, I think, yet for the whole Macmon bike bit. Oh, no, we did. That was the astronaut thing. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
But, like, so even there, right? Like, it did have a payoff. So,
yes.
like, We'll see what the Smiley Pirates bring.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see a Hookmon or two. Who knows?
But yeah, so thank you so much for listening / watching this. You can contact us and stay updated. You can leave a comment on this episode on YouTube, join the conversation. But for a full list of ways to find the podcast across the internet, such as YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, head over to my link tree, which is linktr.ee/LostinTranslationmon. If you enjoy the podcast or videos or any of my posts online, you can show support by signing up on Patreon and get some cool rewards and help me hit some milestones. And thank you to my current supporters on Patreon: Stephen Reeves, Susan Wabi64 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Niobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Elizabeth, who is Lekman on Tumblr, Nicholas, Magnus, Lucas, Jason05, Patrick, Jason, Shelby, Diddle Hazard, who's on Twitch at The Diddle Hazard, Droppymon, Vmon, Tamer, Kasai, Big Bad Beetleblog, Flavin, Bent, Archer, Cappy, Cyber, and Voltic Halberd. You can also make one donation on PayPal, which you found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/airdramon. You can also donate to me on my Coffee account, which is ko-fi.com/airdra. I love watching Guz bounce around the screen as I'm reading that. Like, so that was so fun. Like, I enjoyed that. It's like seeing that at the corner of my eye. But yes.
Also,
so, yep.
a quick shout out to Voltic Halberd for also believing that Ken is submissive and breedable at the genetic level.
And if you don't get that, go head over to my Twitter and check out my posts, because I was reminded about the epilogue for 02, which I feel like is meant to have happened in a year, because I feel like that was 2027. So I'm hoping that Toei does like another short like they did with Digimon Adventure Beyond, where it's like just like maybe like a 5-10 minute thing where it's just the adventure chosen's children going on an adventure, where when they play the opening for 02, or maybe like an insert song from 02 or something. Like I'm hoping for something like that, just to celebrate, because it'd be weird if we just, 2027 went and passed, and that's the year that the epilogue takes place in. But yeah, so Ken and Miyako's kids, they all look more like Miyako than they do with Ken. So I was like, Ken's genetics didn't even try. But in any case, so
no, it's a different guy.
Different guy. Yay.
Different guy.
Yoli's very popular. But yes, so thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Guz and Geo for joining me. And if you are listening / watching this on YouTube, please do the like, comment, subscribe thing, etc., etc. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.